You came here to see a Nuzlocke adventure video from beginning to end. Yes, this Genlocke challenge only has 109 days at the time of writing this, much less its release, which I imagine our editor has kindly put in a comment indicating how long I really have to finish by the time the video actually comes out. Of course he does, it's on screen right now. But these adorable little monsters of doom have been so worthy of my time. I am genuinely more upset about not doing this for 25 years than I am about anything that happens during this entire... Oh boy, I'm getting old, and this video is already so long. Let's get past the intro. Alright, the rules. I'm gonna go over them real fast and quick. Get ready. Stay within 5 levels of the gym leaders. Push through areas once I start them. No going back to Poke Centers. No catching Pokemon I previously caught, or I wouldn't take care of as pets in real life. And only catching the first Pokemon I meet that meets this criteria on each route. Pokemon faint equals death. Survivors of the Elite Four get to go on to the next game and can be used for breeding. If I white screen, that is to say everyone faints, game over. Chatters get to name one Pokemon and may claim another if that Pokemon dies or we start a new game. You cannot use previous champion Pokemon from the current game that exceed the current game's level. Upon soft lock, that is, I can't go anywhere. I transfer everyone who's survived and start the game over. You can trade non-champion Pokemon from a generation for an egg to someone else who's watching these videos. I now have a physical 3DS, by the way. We're playing Pokemon Platinum. If you want something, let me know, because we're playing Pokemon Platinum on a physical 3DS with an actual copy. More on that later. You may breed Pokemon if it will result in a different evolutionary chain, and may only breed champion Pokemon from previous games for that purpose. As soon as I finish Crystal, still high on victory without a single loss through the Elite Four in Champion. Not without stuff so close that I was genuinely worried every single battle, mind you, but, you know, you can check the video in the cards or at the end of the video for that. We're here to start Emerald. We begin the game. Can I say something just real quick? The jump from Game Boy to Game Boy Color to Game Boy Advance, like, all of these have been drastically obvious for me. It's like a massive pole vault with a jet-powered booster pack strapped to its ass. This is the difference between the P-47 Thunderbolt and an F-4 Saber. Both are amazing aircraft, but one of them is clearly better. Just every time I start a new Pokemon game, the graphical upgrade just, well, it impresses me so much. I started 4 of these now. This is the story of the 3rd one. We begin the game with our mom shoving us out of the back of a moving truck. Why were we riding in the back of a moving truck? What kind of abusive family is this? I have questions and concerns, and we should probably be calling child services on my mother. And immediately having to save the professor from a rogue rabies-infested Zigzagoon. That is my story, and I'm sticking to it. We choose our first Pokemon. What do you think I picked, by the way? Before you make that decision, half of this game, I was still in COVID quarantine, by the way, so the quality is going to drastically improve for our footage later. I apologize if there's any degradation. Hopefully, Ginger, yes, you, Ginger, you can appear on screen whenever you want. I can't stop you, you're the video editor, but you, hope you fixed it. Now, my choices are Mudkip, Trico, and Torchic. I have no idea what they look like, and you tell me which of these I'm gonna... It's Torchic. Seriously. You thought I was going to choose something else. Wrong. We beat the hell out of the rabies-infested Zigzagoon with total ease, and we head back to the professor's house, who lets me keep the incredibly rare Pokemon that doesn't appear in the wild at all. Well, your name is Lori. You're a boy, Torchic? Did I stutter? We immediately head back into the tall grass and train a bit till Brett challenges us with a Mudkip. Well, till Brendan challenges us with a Mudkip. P.S. My mom, my physical biological mother, her real name is Billy. Lori's a fine name for a boy Torchic. After surviving a critical hit, Lori delivers one back and smashes the Mudkip's face in. Neat. Mom sends us into the world. Still no Pokeballs though, but we're trying to get them eventually. It takes 46 minutes before I get Pokeballs, and the challenge for this game officially can begin. Meet the Zigzagoon, MT. A gay trash panda who will proceed to steal everything he can and literally make us more money than I would ever expect. Also, we catch a Poochyena named Fop, who will be very crucial later. And then we get the luckiest spawn ever on Route 102. We run into a Ralts. In the only place in the entire game you can find them, it's a 4% spawn rate with nearly 7 other Pokemon that I could have caught instead. We got a Ralts. Called it, named Shadow Man. Yes, this is a girl's Ralts named Shadow Man. This is a weird video already. We're gonna keep getting weirder. And she will become a secret weapon much later in the game. And we meet our dad, who gave us some fatherly advice, talked down to us, told us he doesn't expect anything of us, and then sent us out saying he's looking forward to us entering his gym. I suspect Dad wants to stomp a mud hole in his only daughter. So we head for our first gym battle. Training, battling, getting through trainers as we've leveled up for the first gym along the way, and the trainers are far beneath us. We're doing this very slow, almost 5-hour streams of Emerald, because I was still in quarantine and had nothing else better to do. So playing Pokemon was definitely on the list of things I could do. And Lori evolved into the Combustion, which Combustion is hideous, but I love it anyway. I feel like I should pet her, even though I'm pretty sure she'll scratch my eyes out. I started day 2 and immediately snag a Tailo and name it Gildadash, but there are a lot of other nicknames that they will acquire. Let me give you a short list of the ones that I personally remember. Body Stacker, Bird Reaper, Death Feather, Angriest Tryhard, and Murder Bird 2.0 are among the list of things I'll be referring to Gildadash as. Get ready. Up next, I run into a Marill and cannot catch it. See Rule 3 in our Crystal video. Our Marill and Azure Marill were our Surf Pokemon, so instead, I try for the Wingull on the next encounter. I name it Solar T-Pose. It's literally T-posing. How could I not name it Solar T-Pose? Seriously, it's a T-posing bird. We then train for our first gym. The Rustboro gym is a Rock-type gym, much like Kanto's first gym is Brock, the Rock Master of Pewter City. However, this will be like any fight I have done so far, and every one of these gyms will completely subvert all of my expectations every time I walk into them. I have never had this kind of struggle till now. Roxanne's Geodudes are easily dispatched by Solar T-Pose with water guns. But then Nosepass comes out. 1, I don't know what a Nosepass is. 2, I forget normal attacks are resisted by rocks. And 3, I switch out T-Pose because I get the feeling Nosepass has a rock throw, which would be super effective and probably kill our little Wingull. Instead, I put the Pokemon that I have with the most health. MT, the Zigzagoon. I mean, before that, I spend 3 minutes going back and forth with my audience and leave Solar T-Pose in to deliver a single shot of Water Gun that only does 25% of health to Nosepass, and immediately realizes this is a problem. Nosepass brings Solar T-Pose down to 8 hit points with a single hit. MT, on the other hand, tanks the Rock Tomb like a champ, and we begin the Battle of Ages. Nosepass is one very tough Pokemon. I put MT in to do one thing, Sand Attack, so he could blind it. This Nosepass also has Block. Block is a unique move. It prevents you from switching or retreating. MT, a normal type who is not resistant to rock, is now locked in a battle with Roxanne's Nosepass, who is resistant to everything MT can do. This battle began on my stream at 1 hour and 38 minutes. It would not end until after the 2 hour 10-minute mark. For the next 26 minutes, MT goes back and forth with this Nosepass until the only move it has left is Struggle, and then tail whips the Nosepass's defense to the lowest it can be, so he doesn't have to use Struggle himself. And the one ether that we picked up gets used, so MT has an offensive move. No one's dead. Holy shit. This was the first gym. The first gym. And that could not have been more difficult. For spite purposes, the next route, I'm not allowed to catch anything. Everything on that route we've had before. We come to our first instance in which I need to breed Pokemon. Cool. I actually get to breed. Anyway, we don't take that out of context, please. We fought through trainers left, right, and sideways, helped some old man with his Wingull from Team Magma. I have questions about why an old man has a Wingull. Later, we meet President Mr. Stone of the Devon Corporation. He seems far too important to talk to us, but he does it anyway. He gives us a letter and sends us off with a new cell phone. Sweet! Hopefully, I have
so fewer stalkers this time. I remember innately our last stalker. Moving on.
Got the old man to put us on a boat to take us to Dufur Town, and we spent some time in a nearby cave where we caught a Makuhina named James and a Zubat named Insane and an Aaron named Isinade, all while delivering our letter as planned. I'm so happy and excited, by the way. Aaron is basically a baby kaiju, and it makes me so happy to have him. Anytime that, like, kaiju are involved, I'm just happy. He's an adorable being. You can't change my mind. He's a baby kaiju. I love him. I spent my day 2 training the Makuhitas, Zubats, and fishermen all I could. It was a non-stop montage. We also caught an Abra at some point, because there's a middle section to that cave, and I'm allowed to catch it, so we did. Oh, and Shadow Man evolved into Carlia. My last day of COVID quarantine, glitched the little flash thing on Pokemon Go, was so excited, and so am I. We're gonna go rampage across the university campus the next day. Within 20 minutes, however, of this actual 3rd day of playing Emerald, we're ready for the 2nd gym. It's a fighting gym.
What is this, the Edgelord gym?
Which normally we'd have almost nothing but a Talo to deal with. However, we've got Carlia, Shadow Man, the Carlia, and she don't need no man. No sir, Shadow Man don't need no man. Just smashes her way right through. My confidence so high. We have 2 gym badges, no deaths, and are blowing through trainers of our relative level like nothing. We get an Ultra Ball from MT, our trash panda, and use it to catch an Oddish named Moon Moon. He knows what he did, Moon Moon. He knows what he did. Nearly lose Shadow Man to a lucky hit. I mean, we have to run into Brendan again, and this time he's got a Marsh Stop, and I have no answer for it. It's only weak to grass, and we have got our Oddish less than 2 minutes ago, even if it is vulnerable. Moon Moon is only level 9. He'd die horrifically, and he's far too valuable. Look, I know that Bellossom and Vileplume are way down on the list of Pokemon that would actually be valuable, but leave me alone, don't judge me. We brute force the Machop into low health, switch to Gildadash, who is resistant to most of its moves, and finish it off with Gildadash hanging on by 3 hit points. This little Talo has refused to die far too many times, and I appreciate it. Good girl. You really pulled us through. Our Abra Recoyote evolved into Kadabra. But we have no way to evolve it into an Alakazam, and we have a Carlia, which is straight up gonna be better than a Kadabra for Psychic Choice. Lastly, on our way to the 3rd gym, we caught an Electrike and named it Toucher because he's gonna touch everything he wants like a crazy taser. The rest of the stream is spent training, and training, and training. We have a lot of Pokemon, and all of them are required to hit level for Gym 3, which is 24. I want to point out the last gym was 16. This is getting really hard to train up with such low-level Pokemon around between 9 to 12. I would spend a full week away from Pokemon to return to my house, and so happy and excited and trained up for Gym 3. Let's go, Watson!
Off stream, realizing we need a water Pokemon in a place that is mostly water Look at all the water. Just look at it. We yeeted a Water Stone at our EV to get a Vaporeon.
Lastly, we hatched a wind-up from our free egg from Professor Butch and named it Zoidnane, because for the rest of the game, he's just our Zoidberg. Why not Zoidberg? Lots of reasons. Oh, and I forgot to take Kriz and Everfree out of the daycare. Yeah, they made another egg. Good on you two. What do I do with it? The stream was given a choice to vote, and they threw a unanimous vote that I get to keep it. 19-0. I didn't even vote. Okay, sure. We'll keep the egg, and I will use it in a different game down the line when I'm not allowed to catch something again. That sounds really nice. Egg hatches. Boom! Shiny Eevee. You heard me. Shiny Eevee. I was just as stunned as everyone else, and we were extremely happy. I let Kriz name him, and we moved on to our next place. Our last move before Watson, while training, was to evolve Gildadash, acquire Waterstone to make Vaporeon, and a few other things that just rounded out our day. Now on to Gym 3.
Watson starts out with a literal bang. Literally, his Voltorb self-destruct and brings Moon down to 19 hit points. I'm impressed that Moon could take that.
All the way through to Watson's ace, Magnetric. You see, Isinade is Rock Steel, which is not resistant to electricity. The reason I thought they were is because Rock is, on every other Pokemon I've found so far, is also ground, making them immune to electrical damage. I thought Rock was resistant to electricity. It's not. One critical hit Shockwave later, and I utterly failed our baby kaiju. Istinade. I stared in awe as Istinade was torn into bits of shards of metal, cast and scattered about. I felt my legs go weak. I wanted to cry. Istinade was a perfect, beautiful baby kaiju, and was now a shattered hunk of metal and rock across the ground in front of me. I love that little baby, adorable baby kaiju. We finished off Watson and
After the gym fight with Watson, we find our way and run into a shiny Machop. Literally, live, right here, is a shiny Machop. And I tell Gildadash to go out, use Quick Attack, and not stack a body. And just resist the fighting moves on it. Mistakes were made.
we start the next stream on June 4th, over 5 days from our loss from the Aaron. We then begin storming a mountain. This is where we come to so many freaking trainers and we cannot turn back. We kept pushing and questing forward. We have our Vaporeon, Fiaura, as well as the Numel, Ginger Lava to train up and keep going. We also played Numel Chicken. It's a really crazy fun game. See, our Numel and the wild ones both have magnitude, which they are vulnerable to, and therefore whichever one of them gets off a magnitude 5 first wins. It's literally a speed check every single time, as well as a D10 roll that has a 40% chance of not rolling in your favor, and a 20% chance of not only not rolling in your favor, but them rolling in their favor and killing you. I decided to go back to the hallway where we caught Ginger Lava. Was probably safer with lower level Pokemon that don't have magnitude and less chance of instant death. We're working, training for a while, a long time, preparing for gym number 4. While we're inside of gym number 4, Shadow Man evolved into Gardevoir. P.S. This is gym 3, where there's only one evolutionary line for her. But this proved to give me a boost of confidence I needed to push through to the finish. When we entered the face down, Flannery. The fire Pokemon weren't really a good match against Era. Our Vaporeon's water gun and massive hit point pool just crushed this entire gym. Flannery standing 0 chance against Era, who leveled up from 29 to 32 by just fighting him completely on her own. We got our mojo back. No more dead catches, no more dead Pokemon, an easy Gym 4 win. Also, if you don't mind, hey Ginger, I hear you have an OC now that you can use for these videos. Would you do us all a favor and show that to everybody? Anyway, we caught a Trapinch named Drazzle in the desert sands and got a fossil that would later become a Anorith. After a ton of bike problems, by the way, which was not fun. Trying to get the exact timing when the entire time I've been playing Yellow Crystal and now Emerald, my arms are crossed. Okay, look, I'll show you. So you see the reason I like playing like this is left hand has been used for movement now since like post 1996 video games, and arrow keys are the movements on this, so you know my hands are crossed the entire time I've been playing. It's one of the reasons I really wanted the physical hardware. We kept training with James evolving into Hiriyama. Yep, and becoming our secret weapon to use against our own father. James slashes his way through everything in our past, and it sends our dad to his knees crying. It's now him versus Slacking, and I think James has the upper. Oh my god, how many hit points does this thing have? Did you see that arm thrust damage? That was a super effective move, and it bounced. Okay, Vital Throw it is. Slacking keeps using counter instead of attacking directly, as well as slacking off, which slacking off is his ability, so that's fair. But Vital Throw is a last priority order move, meaning counter will never go off. It always goes last. It reduces your speed to 0 when you use it. However, when Slacking heals itself, I suspect that has hyper potions, and I start getting desperate. I keep Vital Throwing, and thankfully James is able to get the KO before dear old dad can whip out his hyper potion belt and say, haha, no. This gives us our 5th badge. We're doing it. We're actually succeeding. We're able to use Surf, which we don't have yet, but Wally's dad comes over and gives us the HM for Surf. We can finally access 40% of Hoenn since it's almost entirely water. Nero becomes our Surf Master. Touch gets in training on the water as he touches everything with Spark over and over again. And we go on a haunted boat for a little while. And now we get our Anorith, which we resurrect from a fossil, and we name it Wither. Lastly, we catch my favorite grass Pokemon ever, Tropius. Look, it's a just grown-up Littlefoot. And as a kid, Land Before Time was one of the few things that my super ultra anti-everything conservative Christian parents wouldn't take away from us was dinosaurs. Tropius is a bean, and his magic leaf attack is actually just Leaf Star. Prove me wrong. Oh, we also caught a Swablu named Orsk. We head into the Nautical Research Center and meddle in Team Aqua's plans, getting knee deep and smashing our way through. The scientists give us an artificial Pokemon named Casfor, which honestly just goes in the box and we never see it ever again. Except to train it up because I'm required to. So we enter gym number 6, the Flying Gym. With me personally being a huge fan of flying type Pokemon, particularly birds. We have a few unbypassable trainer battles. We're doing great. Toucher is slaying everything that moves, and MT is backing him up in the double fights with Fury Swipes and Thief. I see a Skarmory for the first time, and it's Nightmare Fuel. It's like Metal Sonic and Pidgeot had a Sonic fandom baby and called it a Pokemon, and I wish I was kidding, and I have little doubt that fan art of this exists, or if it doesn't, someone is making it right now and paying the artist for it, which just unnerves me even more. I put Littlefoot in to get some action as well, using Fly and other moves to help us get through a particularly thick Tropius trainer. I do notice I'm burning through my smaller healing items getting through these gym trainers and gym fights, and I'm getting a little concerned with just how much damage we're taking, but blow it off as we'll be fine. My brain is not having fully registered that Littlefoot is weak to flying and shouldn't be here. We meet Winona, the Fortree City gym leader, and prepare for her bird Pokemon. Hint, some of these aren't birds. I sit down and prepare for a long battle. Toucher leads and immediately shockwaves Swablu out of action. This is great. Winona retaliates with Altaria, her ace Pokemon. Shockwave does normal damage, even with a critical hit. And Toucher gets a surprise. A critical Earthquake. He's gone. One shot. Dead. Absolutely destroyed. A Pokemon that I thought would be one of our Elite Four is just wasted. I'm upset and trying to keep myself calm. I just watched a perfect plan get annihilated. What's worse is half my Pokemon are actually vulnerable to things this Altaria can do. This is bad. I put in Shadow Man and hope she can outspeed Altaria, and she does. Altaria goes for Dragon Dance when Nona reveals her first Hyper Potion, which saves Altaria after a Fiaura Perfect. Come on, Shadow Man, you couldn't have done one more point of damage? Just one? Seriously, in this critical moment of watching that Altaria power up in Dragon Dances, we Fiaura Perfect and don't kill it. Shadow Man is still faster, but I no longer trust this. I'm hoping that she goes for an Earthquake or a Dragon Dance, and if it's an Earthquake, Littlefoot can be a sneaky bean. It is an Earthquake. I shifted in the nick of time. Aerial Ace devastates Littlefoot, though, seeing the hit point bar fall and beg and pleading and deny he's going to die. He lives like a Chad on 5 hit points. He lives and refuses to go down. Smashing into the Altaria with a Magic Leaf, that does nothing. Oh, shit! I heal and roll the dice. Dragon Breath paralyzes Littlefoot, but he lives. I need a counter. I put in MT. I want to justify my thought process here. MT has almost as many hit points as Littlefoot. He is not weak to dragon flying or ground moves. He's an adorable danger noodle who works for the Pokemon Mafia, which you do not want to upset. He has 2 dark moves, which are not resisted by dragon or flying. He is the best shot. Altaria, however, has 3 Dragon Dances with the power of RNGesus and Anime on its side, and proceeds to get another critical Earthquake and blow MT into annihilation before prematurely burying him alive. Well, that's dead. I put in Ira, our brave Vaporeon who has the most HP of our entire team at this point, and the highest defenses we can muster for special and physical. She soaks the Earthquake like a champ, and delivers a Surf in return. Which, even if it isn't very effective, it's enough to end the madness that is that. But now I have the bitter taste of failure on my lips. 2 Pokemon are now buried in Winona's gym that belonged to me. Buried by an Earthquake, and there's nothing I can do about it. Then I make a whole new mistake. I put Lori in. The Combust Chicken. Lori, the fire fighting type that is weak to flying. Strangely, this does not immediately punish me, even putting a burn on Winona's Tropius and seeing it go back and forth with Synthesis to keep itself alive and race against death, which after an instance of another Fiaura perfect in this match, seriously, that's 3, we bring the poor thing down. Lori, despite being bird, should not be in this fight. I leave her in anyway. You heard me right. I let it ride against Skarmory. The only fire attack we have is Ember, by the way, which is kind of the equivalent of saying we have Water Gun at level 30. Skarmory uses Sand Attack, which we suckered Winona in for, and Lori just keeps missing Embers because of it till I'm forced to switch out for Era again. The Vaporeon you will see a lot of. It's surfing time. You know, surf's up, dude. Which levels up Era again, and here comes the Pelipper. I take advantage and switch in Shadow Man, and for a brawl that only lasts a few moments, as soon as its Protect fails, a Psychic Blast. Oh, Shadow Man's confused. Doesn't matter, roll the dice, get the hell out of this gym. Ending Winona, but not without requiring a salute for our brave heroes. Oh my god, Lori's evolving, never mind. We may have lost Toucher and MT, but we came out of the fire on the other side with a full-blown Blaziken! Learning Blaze Kick! One of his 2 ultimate moves. Lori, you are a good boy. And one of the very few physical fire moves in existence. Most fire moves are special attack. On the next route, and ran into a trainer with a Pikachu, which Lori instantly Blaze Kicked out of existence. I learned how to deal with Ludicolo by flying type because it's time for Body Stacker to go be Bird Reaper. Trapinch evolves into Vibrea, learns Dragon Breath, which really helped me end off the session. Even ran into a trainer with an Absol, which I found fascinating and really wanted to catch one day, and then found out it's not an Emerald. I missed a save point apparently, and we lost some progress, so we had to re-evolve our Vibrana. Just so you know, lost like a full hour, and had to come back and keep going. We found a Sunstone and turned Moon into a Hula Girl. A Bellossom. He's so pretty now. Era learns Aurora Beam, or as I like to call it, Ice Dick, or Radiation Dick, or Chernobyl Shot. Whichever one of these you want to say. Ginger learns Overheat, and Moon learns Sunny Day, plus Solar Beam. You're going to see how that's useful later. I also taught Ors the Altaria Ice Beam. We go through a haunted tower, unable to catch anything, when tragedy strikes, in the form of Wobbuffet. You know how this goes. Destiny Bond puts Shadow Tag, plus Shadow Tag that prevents me from switching. Moon is in there. There's nothing I can do. I can't switch. Healing doesn't matter. Moon is gonna die for the greater good. This trainer battle is completely unfair, and I knew it. This is awful. Something that I was hoping to prepare for later. Gone. A Pokemon I genuinely liked, and that Moon genuinely had a heck of a laugh when I attached his name to. And I can do nothing to save him. Nothing. With a bitter heart, I do not sacrifice Moon. I refuse to let something so unfair, so unheartless, so brutally cruel happen to our glorious little hula girl. Boy with an eye. Moon, you are now a boy with an eye, and everyone on my Discord, I want you to call him out right now. Tag this person in Discord and say, you are a boy with an eye. The name's displayed on the screen. Also, you made it this far into the video. Hit the like button. Subscribe, hopefully, if you want to stick around and keep seeing me go through this journey. And leave a comment. Even if you're not willing to leave a comment of any sort, just go down there and type ... for the algorithm. So I know you watched the video at least this far in. Lastly, I'm going to ask for something very unusual. At the end of the video, the very end, stay tuned till past the credit. I assure you it'll be worth it. Back to our moment of failure. I refuse and said no. We make our way out of the tower and begin another Holy Grail hunt. A max revive. So long as I don't go back to a Pokemon Center and secure a max revive, our Blossom will live. Those are the rules. Max revives can be used. I just have to have one. Or find it. I go to the Safari Zone. This is important. We have a limited number of steps to get through the Safari Zone to catch the max revive. So with the help of a map and a bunch of calculations, we acquire the max revive and Moon doesn't die. Ha! Second Holy Grail Crusade artwork. Done.
Did you even see any Pokemon while you were in the safari?
No. Saw 0 Pokemon. Paid $500 to run in there and get a max revive and not have to give up my Bell Awesome.
Easiest
Hi,
Holy
I'm
Grail
back.
quest ever.
Easiest Holy Grail quest ever.
Oh, so we got the max revive.
You have no idea how easy that was, Brett. I literally just walked in and went, yoink!
I really hope we don't have to do this in Platinum. Why do I hear the sound of dead Lavatar baby's mother screaming at me? Anyway, the rest of the day is spent training and avoiding Geodudes because self-destruct is no joke and I'm not having that shit again. Training. We reached gym number 7. This is it. The one you absolutely must do a double battle. The Psychic Twins, Tate and Liza. Now, I want to point out the Pokemon we've caught so far. Lori is an absolute no-go, since our fear and experience in Yellow, Psychic is no joke, and Lori is super vulnerable to it. Not to mention, there are other Pokemon in this gym that Lori is also super vulnerable to because they throw rocks. Bop, our Puccina, that's evolved into a Mightyena, is our only Dark type in our entire arsenal. Everyone else we have to rely upon is going to be Steel type, or just really thick. Wither evolves into Armaldo, and he's looking amazing. He's like a kaiju light. I will protect and cherish him in ways I could never do for you, Issonade. In your name, I will keep him alive and see him through this gym. Since you know, Issonade died back at Watson. This is the battle. A brutal back and forth. Starting out with a sunny day, which I can't think of why they're doing a sunny day. I don't see any grass moves. Not realizing they're setting up for another Pokemon. The two, Fop and Wither, weather and Earthquake, no problem, and nearly put the Xatu out of commission outright. With another bite and Wither pulling to protect, we pushed through it, but I did not realize that they were focusing Fop, because he's a Dark type. The AI is not as dumb as I thought it was. And they're focusing Fop for a Pokemon to come out because he has a lower defense than Wither. Either way, I have to heal and let us soak more Earthquake. Wither executes the Xatu by showing it real power with ancient power, and out comes Lunatone. I want you to know right now, Lunatone, I will never forgive you for this. Ever. I put every Lunatone I can in Pokemon Go into the blender. I don't even check their stats. I'd even be willing to trade a few if it meant I could put a shiny Lunatone out of existence. You know what you did, and why. Our audience is about to find out. Buckle up. Tate and Liza have used one Hyper Potion so far. You're gonna need it. Keep your hands in the vehicle at all times with your seatbelt. This is your chance to pause for popcorn and drink. It's about to get rough. Wither's special defense is compromised by Psychic, and Claydol resists the ancient power. I have Fop go for a bite and switch Wither for Era. I know I'm okay right now. I entered this fight with a max revive, so if one Pokemon goes down, no biggie. And Era has 170 plus hit points, so she can soak a lot of damage. And Aurora Beam hammers the Claydol, and Earthquake puts me in a bad place. Then Fop's confusion nearly kills him, and possibly this whole run, and I mean the entire run, nearly dies in that moment. I switch him out and put Orskar Altera in, letting Era finish off the Claydol and giving Fop a needed boost to level. It should be noted, I was wrong for the level for this gym. It's not 40, it's 42. I'm well below level. Ice and Aurora Beaming into the Lunatone prove ineffective, as does a Surf, which cripples Solrock, but Lunatone is made of sterner stuff and keeps Calm Minding up. Lunatone critically hits with a Psychic, and Era dies. Instantly. I'm okay. I'm not panicking. We have a max revive. Era's fine. I put out Drazzle, giving us 2 Dragon types that have Flight and Levitate. We're fine. I have Sing the Lunatone to sleep to keep it out of this fight, and Drazzle goes to slit his throat with a feint attack, only to find out Lunatone is basically made of adamantine. A super effective move. Barely does 5%. While Solrock has completely devastated Drazzle into the red. I can't switch. Prince Dazzle, our Flaffy, is here to gain experience with an XP share. I brought the other 5 Pokemon thinking they would have this no issue. Lesson learned, never bring a Pokemon still in training into a gym. Yet here we are, on the ropes, with 3 Pokemon in the red, 1 down, and 1 too low level to be effective, and may as well be a sacrifice play. I did not know that this fight was either. I went in blind, being told the wrong level for level cap, and not knowing the type. This is bad. I need maneuvering room. Hyper Potion Drazzle back from nearly dead, and Orsk misses his sing. And Solrock pulls his Joker. A solar beam during the last round of Sunny Day instantly obliterates Drazzle into ash. I am forced to switch in Fop, which thankfully Lunatone is asleep and can't attack. Intimidate won't help me here because they're both special attackers and that only lowers physical attack. Solrock has to go now. Orsk misses another sing. Fop takes the solar beam just barely though, and I go for a bite on Lunatone as Orsk finally lands the sing. Can't do much else except play defense and hope it works. Lunatone wakes up and flinches. Breathing room. Finally. Wait, a citrus berry? Seriously? Orsk hits his sing, and Lunatone goes back to sleep. While Fop proceeds to bite it. I know I can't keep this up. I'm sweating bullets. Orc can't consistently hit a sing, and Lunatone is down to red. One more hit, and we can deal with the Soul Rock, knowing that we're not going to get Psychic Hyper Potion. Third healing item. Seriously? At least Fop critical hit with a bite through Lunatone. Back down into death range. I'm keeping Orsk running his singing solo all night long, singing his heart out while we wear them down, keeping these two rocks asleep. I'm focused on Lunatone. It has to die. It has too much calm mind, but I also know I can sucker them into using a hyper potion and go for Soul Rock, maybe even kill it. Fop runs out of bites. Fourth hyper potion. Dragon's Breath and bite later. Lunatone's health barely moves. I heal Orsk, switching to killing Soul Rock, who basically almost goes down in one hit. Lunatone wakes up and makes that healing useless, nearly one-shotting Orsk with a Psychic and leaving me reeling. I heal Orsk again. I gotta keep him in this fight. I use my last effort on Soul Rock. Hyper Potion number 5. Soul Rock is still in this. Fop is out of bites. Orsk still has the vocal cords of a goddess, though, and uses them to put Lunatone back to sleep with his amazing voice. I switch to Takedown, which misses, and we are working on bringing down Soul Rock as hard as we can. I have to kill one of them. I don't care. Soul Rock has the dangerous moves that can threaten Fop. A Takedown doesn't do it, but a Dragon Breath does. I'm physically breathing hard. I start using Sand Attack on Lunatone to lower its accuracy while Orsk starts the Ice Beams. Not that Sand Attack does any good, and boom, Orsk is gone. I am forced to send out a nearly dead Wither, and I look at him, tears in my eyes. My second Kaiju. I've raised him now, and all I can do is use Protect as Fop misses another takedown. Our luck on 85% accuracy moves is absolutely god-awful. Seriously, Fop, you can't miss those. I look at Wither and I beg and plead that he gets a second Protect off in a row. But it fails. I have to use an Ether on Fop. Something has to be given that will hit and hurt the Lunatone. A few PP worth of bite. Ira's down. Orsk is dead. Drazzle has been obliterated into ash. And now I watch as Wither is pulled apart and returned to being a fossil by this Lunatone monster. The game forces me to send out Prince Dazzle because this is a doubles fight and you're not allowed to not send out a Pokemon. The poor sheep really is just a lamb to slaughter. That's it. My team is down to 1. Lunatone's in crit range of a hyper potion. Are you kidding me? That is the 6th healing item Tate and Liza have revealed this fight. It turns out they actually have another one. Lunatone uses Calm Mind, making it even harder to kill. I have to go for one way. I use Swagger. and hope confusion will help do it in. Just to prolong the fight, however, they put Fop to sleep. Wasting another round, being tortured, surrounded by all your dead friends, Fop wakes up hoping this was all just a bad dream to see Lunatone using Calm Mind again and realizing that even super effective bites are barely moving 5% damage, and another hypnosis puts him back in dreamland. I wake him up seeing his face, him begging to tell me that this is actually not where we are, and all I can tell him is, they're all dead. Please end this madness. And he finally does. A blow from sheer rage, anger, absolute vengeance. A critical hit, ignoring the defense boosts of Calm Mind. This genocidal rock has killed all but one Pokemon I brought in here. And the only reason Fop is alive is because he's immune. 6 healing items. What the fuck? And I know they had another one. Both of my kaiju from Emerald are now gone. I've lost all my electric types, all my dragon types, and the only Pokemon I can bring back is Ira, because we need her for Surf. Honestly, out of everything lost, she's also the best choice. I silently move all of those slain by this cruel rock monster into the grave and watch it accumulate up from 3 to 8. I've gone out of my way to get items for them to hold to make them better. I've done everything right, at least I thought I did, and yet I have to lower our flat fee in that we had to go obtain by glitching our way in the Safari Zone to get to him. I obtained the HM dive in silence. And we were given hope. The faint little spark. We ran into a Whalmer. Caught it and named it Typhoon. My imagination soared, and I was allowed to be happy again. At the thought of Whalmer becoming Whale Lord. A beacon of tankiness and thick HP. So we kept training to prepare for the final gym of the Water Ice Gym. And the cruelest fate is yet to come. His name is Swimmer Berry. His Gyarados would prove me wrong as Typhoon used Dive. And we surfed up thinking I had already fought him, and I hadn't. Surprise Swimmer Berry and his Gyarados. With my already damaged Whalmer, I decided, yeah, Whalmer could trap the Gyarados in a vortex and get through this. Then Thrash! A Gyarados with Thrash, one shot, instant kill. Typhoon barely with us less than 30 minutes, already dead and gone. Ira came up for revenge, but it was bittersweet, and meant I needed a new Pokemon for Dive. We have no good electric types, no good dragon types. So many Pokemon got moved into the grave recently. I've got to figure out a team. I almost quit. But Gilded Dash did not stack all those bodies for me to quit. Shadow Man did not become a beautiful ballerina of Psychic Doom for me to spoil it. No, we're going to keep going. So, I set up a macro in the casino and let it run all night to get me TMs. And I take a break from gym training and we go on a Feebas hunt. I've never done it before and decided, sure, this will be fun.
I am applying logic and dice. This is a terrible idea. Scientifically, this is probably the worst method. We found the spot, Ginger. We spent an hour fishing.
But why did I need TMs? What Pokemon could possibly need TMs? You see, before Typhoon died, he did take us diving and we caught something. Something I thought as a waste that I thought so little of. I didn't even know if I wanted it. Deep underwater, in the abyss, a little light shined bright for us and we swam up to it. There was a Chinchou, a Pokemon I had never seen before that looked like an ugly duck of a fish. I debated it and looked at the Chinchou and went, you want to come? You want to come along? Probably going to sit in the box. It squeaked happily. So, I let Moon put it to sleep. Moon almost killed it, whoops, almost being the keyword, threw a dive ball at it because we had one, and named the Chinchou Spectre because I figured he'd just be a ghost of the game and just be the ghost of a chance. Also, I thought the name was funny. You know, like every kid wants some edgy name like Snake or Spectre or something like that. And this thing was a specter in the water, which was funny to me. It's a double entendre. Bite me. Anyway, we put the Chinchou in the box, but now I realize Spectre was not a mistake. I need a good, solid water type that can learn Dive. I need a good, solid electric type who could learn Thunderbolt. Spectre, you're up. Don't fail the Citadel Council. I mean, this is not Mass Effect. So I raised him up, used the macro at the end of the session to get the TMs I needed, and let the casino run away my depression problems. Spectre evolved into Lantern. We went on the Feebas hunt. It took 2 Feebasses, but we caught what we needed to make a melodic. Not that hard, 3 hours. Back on our feet, we went through a kaiju fight between Groudon and Kyogre. There's a lot of kaiju in this game. And summoned another kaiju who acts like a parent and tells them to knock it the hell off. Yeah, boring save the world stuff. Look, I'm here to become Pokemon champion. If that means I have to break up a Godzilla-level kaiju fight, so be it. In all seriousness, Emerald has been a blast. And I imagine if I played this as a kid, the cutscene between Kyogre and Groudon and Rayquaza would have blown my mind. The graphics here are certainly a massive upgrade. This is a wonderful experience. Even the lows made me appreciate the game even more. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Tate and Liza. The equipment to switch me to physical hardware is on the way, though, and I need to finish Emerald as a part of this madness of a Genlocke Nuzlocke quest. Link below for Twitch if you want to join the quest live. I usually play on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and sometimes Saturday. Need to fight trainers in the ice gym. We don't really need to, but I know exactly what I'm doing. I walk right up to the gym leader like I know it's his place, solve the puzzle and everything, and then turn around and go, nope, we're gonna go fight all the trainers first. And Spectre needs lunches, and he is the happiest, proudest little boyo. I mean, he's like a puppy. If a puppy could swim and breathe underwater and electrocute you. Anyway, fully leveled up, grinded up for the Elite Four, almost on an all-night rampage. This gym is no match. We're over-leveled technically, but I wanted to be ready for the Elite Four, and the stream said go ahead and get ready for the Elite Four because that's going to be a stream in and of itself, and I want to be done with Emerald. Now, to decide the team. You see, originally I was going to have Drazzle the Fly as a Flygon, Lori our Blaziken, Isinate as an Aggron, Shadowman our Guinevere, Wither our Armaldo, and Ira our Vaporeon. Now, I gotta ask a stupid question. Which of these are alive? 3 out of 6. Crap. Okay, Plan B that I haven't made up yet because Plan A is a smoldering rock. Righto. I take a seat and get to thinking. Stream gets to voting. We use TMs. Pick our team. Best of the best. The survivors of this watery hell. 2 of which had to be holy grailed back to life. By the way, there are no more max revives. There are only 2 in Emerald before you get to post-game content. That's it. If someone goes down in this Elite Four, they're dead. I've got nothing to bring them back. So I've already used my 2 Holy Grails just to get this far. Which has always been my policy. Better you use items than save them and actually never use them. We have Lori, the Blaziken. She started with us as a tiny little adorable Torchic, and now she's a murder machine who will blaze kick you out of existence. Gilded Dash, the body stacking Swallow. Spectre, the happiest boyo Lantern. Moon, the hula dancing Blossom.
Death Star Clutch!
Shadowman, the luckiest catch ever Gardevoir. And Ira, the Vaporeon. I choose these 6. The stream chose these 6. I put all of the TM magic we have into them. Shadowman learns Shadow Ball. Lantern gets Thunderbolt, Flail, and Hydro Pump. Gilded Dash learns Hyper Beam, Steel Wing, and Aerial Ace. Era got Acid Armor from leveling, and I had to actually consciously choose it just to make sure we had something to take our tankiest Pokemon and make them tankier. Now, Moon, a Pokemon so underrated it's not even in the top 400 in Pokemon Go, and barely making the top 200 potential picks in any form of Pokemon competitive play, and actually has even better options to be evolved into, i.e. Vileplume, for everything but sheer bulk. But if you look at this team, bulk is what I need, because the rest of them are, you know, one simple, super effective hit away from being gone. Bop, it feels wrong to not take you after you saved us from a full-on game over, and honestly, it's been so hard to work you into a team that I cannot justify you over these other choices. Ginger Lava, you made me laugh, and generally were awesome to use against Team Magma. Thank you for that. James, you soloed a gym by yourself and helped significantly against Team Aqua throughout the game. You're a trooper. You three may not be going, but you hold a special place with me, and I'll remember you for a long time. You're probably wondering where this is going, where this thumbnail came from. Prepare yourself for Moon to enter his final form soon. Now, before we begin, I want to give some special thanks to some special friends. Toucher of Things for making me laugh. Wither for being so tough on the outside and so precious on the inside. Drazzle for just being freaking wonderful and giving me a giggle at your different forms. Orsk for showing me that not all dragons are big scaly things. They can be birds too. MT for making me freak out with your pickpocketing habit and absolutely trying to make sure that none of these trainers died because you took something essential from them. Drazzle for being an adorable little sheep. Sadly, even you pass away. Typhoon for giving me hope when I needed it the most and when I felt like I couldn't do this anymore. And Isinade. Isinade, you were the first to fall. The one who appeared least in this video, but you were the one that hurt the most. Rest in peace, all of you. You got us this far on this journey, even if all you did was drop. Watch over your friends now as they step into the final battle, and please keep them safe. Organized, leveled, we step in. Up to the first is the Dark-type trainer, Sydney. So Lori's in front, with fighting moves and heavy physical. I lead in with a bulk up. It's to counter the mighty Ina's Intimidate and let Lori just unleash her full might. A single double kick is all we need. The mighty Hyena is off to her early grave. It is at this point that Lori loses double kick for Sky Uppercut.
Learn Sky Uppercut? Yes, please! What is this?
By far the most powerful fighting move in Emerald. A good first sign. I leave Lori in and let her go. Absol is the first to feel what a Sky Uppercut actually feels like and instantly dies. Crawdaunt is next, and I know Lori is vulnerable to it. Time for my first secret weapon. Spectre. He's not only resistant to water, but has Thunderbolt. Crawdaunt stands 0 chance. Cacturn is about to come out, and I tag Lori back in and swing for the face of the plant. A single blaze kick. Oh crap, she missed. And now Cotton Spore and Leech Seed. Oh, this is bad. Blaze Kick, however, doesn't miss this time and undoes all the mistakes that were just set up that could have made this go very badly. Next in the list is Phoebe, the ghost of the Elite Four in Emerald. She looks so adorable. You would expect her to be the water trainer. I do have a surprise for you. Her name is Gilded Dash. She stacks bodies for a living. She doesn't care if they're ghosts already. She'll stack those too. Dustclops protects itself, letting Gilded Dash set up double teams. Not the most honorable way to win, but insurance against anything that might actually hurt Gilded, as she's prepares for an endurance fight. And I mean stacks double teams. We go all the way to 6, only for Confused Ray to try to ruin it. But a Parasum Berry will fix that. A Curse, which ignores evasion and automatically hits. Crap! I just had to roll the dice on Curse for a little while. I healed Gilded Dash and realized we are in a stalemate with the Dustclops till it runs out of Protect. I have to heal on the turns that Protect won't work, and this is an ugly back and forth that goes nowhere. Time to unleash Helios 1. I call upon my secret weapon, the Doom Laser, to break the stalemate. Switch in Moon, who goes Sunny Day. Then heal the Shadow Ball damage as I prepare to remove the ghost once and for all with what is equivalent to a massive version of a Proton Pack. Solar Beam is now a priority move with 0 charge time and increased damage. Guess what we're doing? Moon vaporizes a ghost. So long as the sun remains strong. After a little bit, though, I realized Sunny Day is over. I have to switch now. Not enough HP on Moon to set up another one, and I'd like Moon to be here for later. The Dusclops hits an eye beam, expecting to kill Moon, only to have me have done a clean switch to Ira, who fires a radiation death stick right back. I'll give Phoebe credit. That Dusclops can do some damage, but Ira has a massive 240 hit point pool. It may as well be nothing as the second Bennett comes out and just gets slapped with the radiation girl dick over and over to finish it off with a Surf's Up in style. Now to heal up for the next round. Phoebe, you did good. I'll give you credit. You were actually hard. Up next is Glacia, the Ice Water member of the Elite Four, and here is our happy as he can be little Spectre with Thunderbolts and his Fiaura perfect. Seriously, Spectre, you let it get off hail? But that did make Glacia waste a full restore on a Celio, which we then use a flail to set up for a second Thunderbolt, which critically hits like the hammer of Mjolnir, and Spectre claps his fins in celebration. Gaily is up after Celio, and I switch in Lori. All of her moves are super effective versus ice, and she's resistant to ice for spite. No time for hesitation. Blaze kick. Gaily is melted. Walren comes in next, and I know Lori can't stay here. She tags Spectre back in. They're a really good tag team. Single Thunderbolt. Another Celio gets Hydro Pump to set up the Thunderbolt to kill it.
What's up?
Nice.
Good boy! Good boy! Yes!
Holy moly.
Yes! Good boy!
Well then, I mean, that's...
The second Gaily comes out and immediately gets Blaze kicked after I tag Lori back in. From the top rope, on its head, game, set, match, pin. Third Elite Four member, down. Now we go on to Drake the Dragon Master, and I'm not really prepared for this. Our Dragon-type Pokemon are all dead. We have nothing that's actually super effective against them at all. Only thing I can think to do is Brute Force. And I have Shadow Man for that. The problem? That might not even be enough. I start the Calm Mind Train, knowing Shelgon is just a brick that's out here to stall. I build up. I keep building the special attack and defense. I consider doing it more, but when Double Edge knocks me to 2/3 health, I realize how physically frail Shadow is. If I cannot keep my speed up and keep my special attack stack, we're doomed. A Rock Tomb slows Shadow Man down to a reasonable level, but a lucky level gives us just enough breathing room to make the difference. Flygon comes out. Earthquake gives me a heart attack, putting Shadow Man down to 61, though Flygon pays for it with its life. Salamence is next. Drake's ace. I have nothing that can simply take it. It's now or never. Psychic Blast, and I watch Salamence's HP bar fall slowly. So slowly. I'm expecting it to stop, and it doesn't. Salamence falls. My healing items are running out. My arsenal of moves is running slim. A single critical hit could tip this in Drake's favor. Shadow Man does away with Altaria despite 2 double edges nearly putting her out. And Kingdra remains. Shadow Man, please hang in there, you beautiful ballerina. Hang in there. You've been through all this almost as long as our starter. Please hang in there. Kingdra proves that if it crits, it will instantly kill Shadow Man even if she's at full health. But Psychic does its job and gets rid of it before that critical chance gets another opportunity. That's it. We're through the Elite Four. Only one person remains. The Champion. All of my healing items are now dangerously low. I've got less than 3 of anything besides plain old potions that are used to top health up. And full restores. I put our secret weapon, Moon, Helios 1, Hula Girl. Hula Boy. Boy with an eye. It's a Hula Boy with an eye. In front. And it will end this madness. Moon uses Sleep Powder to set up for his Death Beam. In peace. A rainy day starts, but sunny day says nope. And we're bright sunny day, you know? I just want a bright sunshiny day. Nothing's gonna rain on this parade. Now Moon, Ion Cannon Strike! Wailord dies instantly to a sunny day boosted Solar Beam. Moon levels and I'm feeling great. Melodic comes out. Another water type. but the sunlight is still strong with this one. However, apparently Melodic is actually thicker than Wailord and retaliates with an ice beam that makes me cringe, while also eating a berry to heal itself. I have to heal Moon, Melodic does the same. I should have Giga Drained, but another Solar Beam puts the Melodic almost to the red line, but an Ice Beam takes more than half of Moon's health with it. I have to switch. I cannot keep doing this. The sunny day is going to pass in one turn. Spectre, you're in. In the cleanest switch ever, Spectre steps in to a not very effective Ice Beam, and then thunderbolts the higher level Melodic into being a crispy critter. Gyarados is coming out next. Seriously. I've been on the other end of this. Back in yellow with my Gyarados. Waiting for the editor to cut to that. Hit by a thunder. What do you think's going to happen with Spectre here? Pause for a second. Let me show you this piece of artwork. You see what we did to train our Lantern? You see how happy he looks? You see how happy I look? I look well fed too. You seriously see that? Yeah, we did that. Spectre learned to eat Magikarp and Gyarados like they were candy. We single-handedly ended half of the population in Sonopolis just with him. He knows what Gyarados means. It's deep-fried instant Gyarados steak. It's dinner time. Ludicolo comes out now, and Era switches in immediately to, Aurora Beam. Nothing like trying to Chernobyl your opponent, but that proves a bad strategy. Gilded Dash. Stack body. Yes, you have full permission this time. No holding back. I haven't ever go stack a body. It's fine. Aerial Ace immediately puts Ludicolo down and ignores its double teams. And Gilded Dash is a Pokemon seeking death missile at this point, honed for one purpose. You see that cocky smile? Ginger, zoom in. You see that? That is the face of someone who has never known mercy and knows they're going to be eating your corpse tonight. Gilded Dash knows what she did, and she's still proud of it. I really wanted that shiny Machop. Tentacruel comes out next, but Spectre only sees other fish as food and immediately hits it with a paralysis in addition to the Thunderbolt, which means it lasts all of 2. Fiaura perfect. There's another one. Make that 3 turns. But that is long enough for Spectre to poison Spectre and Wallace to get his 4th full restore out. I fight full restore with full restore and remove Spectre's poison and start the fight between these two over again. If any one of these Pokemon falls, I am running out of PP for most of my moves. I might not have enough to finish. And now Wallace brings out Whiscash. Seriously, Wallace? Whiscash? That's it? I was expecting more. Gilded Dash sees that and uses Hyper Beam, but Whiscash lives. Gilded Dash has to rest, only for Surf to nearly do her in, and now I realize why you picked Whiscash. An Aerial Ace is all we need though, and as I'm breathing a sigh of relief that Whiscash should have started a sweeping chain if it had crit, Emerald is done. We see these lovely end credits. I know there is actually a true final boss of Emerald now. I didn't at the time, but by that time I found out we were already a week into playing Platinum, and this is a Genlocke by default. I only have to become champion. I don't have to do any of the post-game content, and I have 98 days at the time of recording to Scarlet and Violet. I imagine Ginger's popped up on screen showing the actual number of days. Yeah, I have 98 days to finish Platinum, Black, White 2, X, Ultra Sun, and Shield. That's a lot. Anyway, here you go. End of the video. First of all, I want to make sure that you've pressed the like button and thank these patrons who are scrolling past screen for sticking with me through physical therapy, nearly dying again, and all of the hardship that, as well as just enjoying getting through these games. I'm probably back home now. I have a few more weeks of physical therapy. I might even be at Everfree Northwest by the time this video comes out. And without their support, I wouldn't have gotten there. I don't think I would have even gotten through the hospital and had enough hope to hold on when there was a hole in my heart. Thank you guys for filling that. It really means something. I also thought it would be really nice to play the in-game credits and show all the Pokemon I've had for this game. I appreciate that. Now, if you've hit the like button, gone into the comments and at least put ... for the algorithm, which hopefully Ginger has reminded you to do. The patron credits are going to end here any second now. They may already be over. I did promise you something special at the very end of the video. So stay till after the patron credits and you'll get your special. In the meantime, good night. So, from now on, staying to the end of the video gets you this. Mwah. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Also, side note, go back and play the video again. Mute it, turn on the captions, and set the speed to 1/4, i.e. 0.25. And just let it play in the background. If you really want to help the video statistics. That's all I'm going to say. Enjoy this video, or this one. I'm not sure what side of the screen it's on. I don't know which side of the screen the video's on, but yeah, here's your hug. And get out of here. But you can stay. I'm just not going to.